Many organizations start by monitoring network traffic at their border to detect malicious activity. In this video, we demonstrate the benefits of advancing to the next level, monitoring activity directly on the computers themselves. Once you monitor the activity on the computers, you can understand the story, the context, behind the connections that you are seeing at the network boundary. We begin with a network monitor detecting an outbound encrypted connection to an IP address belonging to Amazon's S3 service. If we only have a network monitor on the border, that is the end of the story. That is all we can know. But if we have endpoint monitoring, we can know so much more. We are going to use Ennetix xTend Mac app to show what is possible. We will begin with xTend's network traffic view and then transition to xTend's shell command view. In the network traffic view, we have selected the network connection to the destination IP address and port at the specified time. The first thing we notice is that this connection was initiated by the curl command and not a web browser. At the bottom, in the details section, we can see the sequence of processes that eventually gave rise to this curl command. The oldest event is at the top, and the most recent event is at the bottom. This is where we see the curl command. If we look a little higher up in the provenance chain, we see curl was launched by someone logging into the computer via SSH. So, from the network traffic view, we verified the connection came from this Mac. We know it was started by a curl command, and we know that curl command was launched by someone logging in over SSH. Next, we switch to the shell command view to learn more about this curl command. In the command shells view, we have selected the curl command in the list. The first thing we notice is that the user used the -o argument to download and save the shell script, search for uap.sh. In other words, the person was downloading a shell script from Amazon's S3 service. In the details section, we see a lot of additional information, including all the environment variables passed into the curl command. Of particular interest, the environment variables include information about the SSH connection the user logged in from. Now we know the internal computer from which the user logged into this computer. This is an example of lateral movement within the enterprise. Returning to the command list, we see the user not only downloaded the shell script but executed it as well. Following that, we see the user created a staging directory, copied 2 files to that directory, and then created an archive of the directory. Next, we see the user use the scp command to exfiltrate this archive to another computer within the enterprise. Now, we have a much greater understanding of the bigger story. Someone logged into this Mac over SSH from another computer within the enterprise. The user used the curl command to pull down a tool from Amazon S3 and execute it. The user created an archive with several copied files from the computer. And finally, the user exfiltrated this archive to another computer inside the enterprise. So, with endpoint data, we know this rich and suspicious story. Without endpoint data, we just know there was an encrypted connection to Amazon's S3 service. The screenshots used for this video were made using Ennetix xTend app for the Mac. The app is free for personal use. Feel free to play with it and discover what is possible with endpoint data.